Alright, look at me actually being on time for once. I'm proud of myself. For anybody that was at yesterday's stream, you know I was not on time at all. But I actually am today, and I think I've got Nightbot fixed, and apparently the music little title card got fixed as well. I didn't do anything to that, it just decided to work today for some reason. But I will not complain. I'm glad that it actually did. Regardless, welcome back to Resident Evil 4, and speaking of things that we hope work, in this episode we will hopefully be going through the rest of Chapter 4. The reason I say hopefully is because last time we were supposed to go through all of Chapter 4, and I literally got to the very end, and in the cutscene that was going to end the chapter where I would save, the game crashed. So as a result, I have gone back and played through it. I have not changed anything in terms of what I did. I still used the rocket launcher on that boss last time, but that means that my money amounts and my items might vary slightly. However, the upgrades for the guns and the big items that I hold are still the same, so there's that. This also might mean that this episode will be slightly shorter. We will see. I don't remember how long Chapter 4 is as a whole. But it's been a while since I played, so expect lots of failure is what I'm going to say first and foremost. So I'm going to start with doing this, just to get all the extra stuff out of the way. If you've not seen any of Resident Evil 4... Oh, it's actually not going to show it here. Well, okay. If you don't know about this particular section of Resident Evil 4, there's basically a bonus little side mission where you can do a target shot. And if you do it multiple times throughout the game, you can get some money rewards. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of it now. And then we won't have to worry about it. I've already done A and B, so this will be the second to last one that I do. Yeah, I totally got distracted by that. I should have gone for the target in the back. Alright, that wasn't bad. How much did I get for that one? 5. Alright, that works. We need all 6. But I can just do this, end the game, get the 5 bottle caps, and then play it again. And then all I have to do is get 1. I did do some research on how this is specifically supposed to work, and it seems that apparently I am not the only one that has no clue exactly what constitutes a win here. The rules are simple enough, it's just, you know, you hit the targets that are the zombies, you don't hit the Ashley targets. I'm not normally this bad. Holy cow. And I refuse to use the rifle for sniping because it's a bolt-action rifle, which means it's going to be slow as all get out. And there we go. Third row collection is complete, so now I got some extra money to spend on upgrades, which is the important thing. Because if this is the area I'm thinking of, this has got some pretty nasty stuff in it. Riot gun. I am using the riot gun. Anything else? The mine thrower, which I don't really care about.
Thank you. What are you selling? Thank you. Is that all? Thank you.
Oh, I guess I didn't... Oh, that's right. I didn't combine these because I did want to show this off. I don't remember if I did on stream or not, but the reason I didn't combine these is because I don't think I did it last time. The crown jewel is dropped from the mini-boss that I used the rocket launcher on, but I don't think I combined them on... I don't think I combined them on the stream. I've forgotten to do it, so I figured I'd go ahead and do it now. Like so. There's another piece of that, though, so it's not complete as it is. There's one more section that you have to pick up for that. And, oh, we do have a map now. Okay, that's weird that it didn't have it for that one section. I guess it's because I was in the bonus area. But, yeah, we went through that last time. And, oh, there we go. I was going to say, I thought I had the treasure map for this. But, yeah, there's not very many treasures in here, I guess. Friends! Countrymen! Lend me your head to kick. That works. Ah, that didn't hit me. Alright, that works. No experience with any Resident Evil games. Well, we're playing 4, 5, and 6. The main reason is just kind of show where the big decline Resident Evil games went. What most people believe, and I sort of agree, is it goes from being a survival-esque game to more of an action over-the-shoulder shooter. And 4 is widely considered to be the last good one. Mainly for reasons like you actually do have to, you know, conserve your ammo. Whereas opposed to later games, it's like you could just pump a full clip into an enemy and you know... There's never, like, a shortage on ammo. The game's not especially scary. Especially with Resident Evil 5 later on, it gets really funny. The games are still fun to play. Well, 5 is. I don't know about 6. 6 is fun to play if you're not going to take it seriously and you've got a friend to play co-op with. Then it's a great game, but if you're going to play by yourself, you probably won't have the best of time. He had a piece of dynamite, I guess I was wrong. Oh, it's one of these. Story-wise, oh, right, story-wise, the games don't go in a linear fashion. You've got, like, your main series games, which are Resident Evil, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, 4, 5, 6, you get the idea. But then you've got stuff like Resident Evil Outbreak, Resident Evil 0, I'm blanking on the other one I was thinking of, and I just played a little bit of it yesterday. Point is, the story's not linear in form, and so... Like, you play Resident Evil 4 as Leon, who I'm playing as right now, but when you go play Resident Evil 5, you're playing as Chris Redfield. It's a completely different person who has a completely different story. Which is kind of why I wanted to go with 4, 5, and 6, is to show the shift, but also in 6, you actually play... there's 4 different campaigns that you play. You play as Leon, you play as Chris, you play as Jake, who's a new character, but he's teamed up with a partner from Resident Evil 2, Sherry Birkin, and then there's a secret 4th one that you play as a 4th character with that I will not spoil. But they are a main staple of the game. They've been around for a while. The reason I say I won't spoil that is because they get presumed dead very often in the series. So, again, not going to spoil it. But story-wise, the game revolves around typically some sort of virus or outbreak. Some games, it's zombies, some it's not. it depends on which one you play. This one they are. They're called Ganado, but they're zombies. In Resident Evil 5, it's a virus called Ouroboros, and they're not zombies. They act a lot like zombies do, so you kind of just hear it being called zombie games pretty frequently. There's something that wanted me to check there. Plagas in the rocks appear to be fossilized. Yeah, so it's Las Plagas in this game. I don't think I need to kill those two just yet. Regardless, I don't see the games being particularly horror-esque. The closest you're getting is it might freak you out of, like, what am I going to do because I don't have a lot of ammo to use. And I've been pretty good with my ammo, so I've got, you know, fair bit for the handgun, fair bit for the shotgun. Not that much for the rifle right now, but I just used it a lot in the last episode. Fair bit for the Magnum, etc. It also helps I played the game through many, many times, and so I know what I'm doing. There we go, that's what I was trying to do. Ah, he didn't drop anything. Oh well. Resident Evil 4, at the very least, is on my hit list for doing a Let's Play somewhere down the line, but for now I figured it'd be more fun to stream it. A movie called Resident Evil, and figured it was... I will tell you right now, the Resident Evil movies are not good. The first one's okay at best, and the rest of them are awful. But they are based on the games. And at least for the older games, they were considered for a long time kind of the definition of, like, survival games. Here's a chainsaw guy, by the way. I'm not going to let him hit me, because if he actually hits you, he just decapitates your character, and it's an insta-kill. Oh, I see you over there. Away with you. Sadly, you cannot blast him off the stage. Even if I could, I wouldn't do it because he drops a treasure. Oh, or a lot of money. That works too. Point still stands. But to catch you up on how the story of Resident Evil 4 has been going thus far, our character, Leon Kennedy, who you control throughout the entire game, you don't switch again, Leon Kennedy has been he's been tasked with rescuing the president's daughter, Ashley. We've run into her a couple times, but she got kidnapped again. And trust me, when we get into the gameplay that involves Ashley, you'll see why that's a good thing. Ashley is the definition of an escort mission, and it's one of the worst in the game because of how incompetent she is. Like, seriously, she doesn't know how to climb down a ladder, so when you climb down a ladder, you have to wait there and press the action button in order to have her jump into your arms, because she can't walk down the ladder by herself. It's really bad, especially since there's an Ashley-only section where she can climb down a ladder, so she knows how, she just chooses not to, I guess. I don't really know. It's dumb. I'm gonna get out of the way of this dynamite now. But while he was rescuing the president's daughter, which they had traced to a village that is quote-unquote somewhere in Europe, which you probably could have figured out if you are well-versed in the currency, which, as you can see, PTAS over there, which is my currency. That's the Spanish currency, is the peseta, or at least it used to be. It got changed relatively recently in history. I believe it was there until about the 1980s. I could be wrong on that, but I know it is called the pesetas. And so, somewhere along the way, pretty early on, Leon himself had gotten kidnapped and injected with a virus that's slowly turning him mad as well. So, on top of rescuing Ashley, he's also trying to get the virus out of his own body as well as Ashley's. He was helped by Luis Serra at some point, throughout the game. but Luis Serra is now dead. He was killed by the main villain, Salazar. But Luis had worked as an agent and then realized he was very far in over his head, and so he tried to get out. So right now, Leon's got pills that can suppress the virus, but it does not get rid of it completely. And now we're about to go to a very tough segment in the game. This is kind of gonna suck. I guess I can go over what I've got here. Weapons, you can equip over them, or you can hit examine to kind of see what they are. So this is my handgun, shotgun, rifle, magnum, which is only used for bosses. The ammo for each, as I mentioned earlier. The first aid sprays are healing, the herbs are healing, greens are a slight heal, reds don't do anything by themselves, but when combined with a green, they are a full heal. You can also combine 2 greens or 3 greens to get a big or bigger heal. Yellows don't do anything by themselves, but they will increase your max health. There's that little bar that's kind of towards the top of my health, or the gray bar, I should say. It's kind of near the pistol bullet image thing. Clearly I'm being good with words today. That will increase your max health. You can use it on yourself or Ashley, but I always use it on Ashley. And then these are, of course, grenades. Incendiary, which sets targets on fire, and hand grenade, which explodes. Maybe you have to get towards the door before they actually start doing stuff. And there's a flash grenade, which is the third and final type that, you know, is a flashbang. They're actually quite good. All the grenades in Resident Evil 4 are good, which is not what I can say for 5. In Resident Evil 5, the incendiaries are terrible. The flash grenades are great, the hand grenades are alright, but the incendiary is not good. Alright, so we've dealt with this guy before. This is an El Gigante, Spanish for the giant. But now we've got to deal with 2 of them at once. Which is only salvaged by the fact that it's a lot easier to fight them now than it was prior, because at least our weapons are good. That was dumb. I shouldn't have done that so early. So what you can do in this scenario is, if you've got the rocket launcher, you can of course still use it. But if one of the dudes is walking across that lava pit, you can drop it out from under him and insta-kill him, which means you only have to fight one of these, but you will not get the treasure if you kill him that way. So, thought I had enough time to get him there. Let me try a grenade, now that they're both kind of grouped together. See how well that works. That's not bad. Stun him at least. I've never been a big fan of this segment. This will use up your energy like crazy with all your items that you'll use up on it, even if you only fight one. There's a good chance I'm going to fail here, and if I do, I'm probably going to try using the Magnum instead. In Resident Evil 5, these dudes... No, I guess it didn't work there. I was going to say, in Resident Evil 5, those dudes are also weak in the legs rather than just the head, so... So yeah, knowing that, I'm probably going to try it with the Magnum this time. And see if that works better. I do want to try to kill them both, but if I can't do it with the Magnum here, then, you know what, it's not the end of the world. And for reference's sake, I'm playing on normal difficulty. There's easy, normal, hard, and professional. And the way this game works is it's based on adaptive difficulty, so the better you do, the harder the game gets, and if you die a bunch, then the game gets easier. It basically puts the game on a scale of 1 to 10, and depending on what difficulty you play, it's locked into a subset of that 1 to 10. So if you play on easy, the difficulty can be anywhere from 1 to 3. Normal, it can be anywhere from 3 to 7. Hard, it can be anywhere from 7 to 9, and professional, you're locked in at 10. There's no way to make that number go down. So, if you get a lot of kills, a lot of headshots, hit enemies in their weak points a ton, clear stages without dying, it will make that number go up. If you die a bunch, get put in a really low state, take a bunch of damage, etc., then it will lower that amount. And of course, by putting that number in a higher amount, or by having your default choice picked at a high amount, it's not necessarily the weapons will be harder to find, but you will do less damage to the enemies, and the enemies will do less damage to you. Or they will do more damage to you, sorry. I'm gonna heal before I get myself killed here. Oh, he actually let me get away from him. Wow. Didn't think he would. I'm trying to hit the other one. Yeah, him. Because I think he's about dead. Yeah, he's definitely dead now. He can still fall on you as he dies, though, so I'm going to let him die. I think he's going to still be alive. But now that we're down to one of them, I'm just going to fire at him with weaker weapons, because I don't want to waste every single bullet. And hopefully I'll get some more Magnum ammo before the game, or before I get to the Chapter 4 boss. Because there's no way to buy ammo in this game. The only way you can get ammo, aside from like finding it, is by purchasing a capacity upgrade on your weapon, and then it will give you a free refill of the clip. And that's not just the case in 4. That's also a thing in 5. I got him. Yep, he's dead. Pretty full on that. Alright. For reference's sake, for how much everything was doing damage-wise, that's doing 2.3 per shot. It's got fast firing speed and reload speed, so, it's at least fast. That was doing 7. That was doing 11. And that was doing 20. In addition to getting the everything upgraded, once you completely upgrade the gun, it gets a bonus upgrade. And that just depends on what gun you have, what bonus it gets. But the Magnum gets like an insane fire power upgrade. It goes from doing, I think, 25 damage to 50, which means it's a hand cannon, basically. This was the reason I didn't want to waste a shotgun, though, was for this area right here. The 2 lights shall shine a light on a new path. So we're looking for buttons we have to press in here. The problem is there's a lot of these little bug things, and they're an absolute pain in the ass. So pretty much your strategy is just to keep running through Until you can get to... Until you can get vomited on, sure, yeah. That's exactly what I meant. Until you can get into a cave, and then you can at least kind of get them all where they can't get you from multiple directions. Please go around the corner. It's not that hard. I can see the edge of it. You can just walk. There you go. Here we go. Here's one of the caves. I don't think I'm going to need that, but you never know. You can see why I wouldn't want to try to fight all those from every direction while playing a game with tank controls, though. That would have ended poorly. So now that's been taken care of. And I can fix everyone's OCD. So the eyes that they drop, the green eyes and the red eyes, they can also drop blue eyes as well. Those fit into a treasure, because the treasures in this game can actually combine. So if you can find all the elements of a treasure piece, you'll actually get even more for it, rather than just selling the individual parts. And so what the eyes go into is this butterfly lamp. As you can see, the green and the red are already put in it, so I need a blue one, but you can still sell the treasure pieces by themselves. The problem is the blue ones, the blue eyes are the hardest ones to come by. I had another butterfly lamp earlier that I actually got all three, so I sold it because, you know, I didn't need it anymore. But the reason I wanted to keep my shotgun ammo up was for this area, and not just this area either. There's another one coming up. I don't know how soon it is. I'm pretty sure it's in Chapter 4, though, that is also a kind of a pain to deal with. So these are the two lights. I should have gone back and pressed the other one, but I would have had to go back that direction anyway, so it's not the end of the world. Ah! I got greedy and was seeing if there was a blue eye in there. The treasures don't vanish super quickly or anything. I just wanted to see what they were. There's a blue eye. Excellent. Alright, so that one's all taken care of. Whenever you examine treasures that can have stuff in it, it'll say something like, it'll usually tell you what it is, and then it'll be like, there's some indentations that indicate that something used to be set in here. And then the actual pieces that you can combine will be like, yeah, it looks like this thing once fit in something else. I think I have one like that, actually. Oh, no, I don't. This one might still have it, though. Oh, it's just a crown with 2 jewels set in it. Life's been actually pretty well. Thankfully I finished classes for the semester. I finished up last week, got my grades back, 2 B's and an A, which is good. So as long as it's A's and B's, I don't need to be valedictorian or anything. All it needs to be good enough is good enough to pass and prove that I can teach students in the form of education. So it's good enough for me. So now that that's taken care of, I can finally relax. Folks are out of the house until Tuesday. I've had the place myself for about a week, which is wonderful, because it means I can actually get work done. I've cleaned up the place and it looks really nice. It actually feels like I'm in an office again. Granted, I'm not in an office. My office is my, same place I sleep, and that's always been advised to be a thing you should never do. Most people tell you your bedroom is for sleeping and, well, sleeping. But I obviously don't have an extra room to deal with. But it's actually cleaned up now, and it feels like an office, and it's nice. I'm not living in a pigsty anymore. It's not that I didn't have the capacity to clean up while they weren't there. It was more a case of, oh, hello. Yeah, I had a feeling one of you was going to get me before I could do anything. It was just a case of, I'm one of those people when it comes to cleaning, I just like to take a day out and do it. And just do it all at once rather than doing it piece by piece. I've never been a fan of, like, having to pick something up, or having to stop doing something and then pick it up again halfway through. Just, I've never been a fan of that, ever. I was supposed to say, I could have sworn I saw a couple more of you guys. Hey! Hey! Hi! Alright, let's get out of here. There's a switch. Press it? Sure. So yeah, in short, life has been good, and it's been a lot less stressful as of late as well, which I can say is very nice. I do have, like, a pretty big work week coming up this week, but I get paid very well at my job, and I don't have any problems with it at all. It's easily the best job I've ever had. Like, I have no problems with the work, no problems with the hours. Well, I wish there were more hours, but I have no problems with my coworkers, no problems with my boss, nothing. There's not a part of it I don't enjoy. So, in short, things are well. I'm willing to bet the treasure that I'm looking for, which is the star on the map, which is why I paused to check, is not back here? That probably means it's overhead then, if I had to guess. But where specifically is it? It does look like it's behind that. Sure wasn't back here. Oh, it's just sitting there. Okay. You got the royal insignia. That's the other piece of the crown. And there you go. That makes the full Salazar family crown. Complete crown with all the jewels and insignia set in it. Doesn't it look pretty? It will be sold to the highest bidder. I'm out of here. And that's the end of chapter 4 too. It's yeah, again, it might be a short one today just because I'm not sure how long 4.3 is, but 4.2 was obviously pretty short there. And 4.1 was quite long, so I would not expect this chapter to be quite that large either. But I was right, the area that I'm expecting is in this chapter in 4.3, so that makes me feel a little bit better. So let's see what we got here. No treasures in the starting area, so that's good. Won't have to worry about missing those. Hang on. Letter from Ada. Once a blog egg hatches, it's nearly impossible to remove it from the body, but if it's before it hatches, then it can be neutralized by medication. If it does hatch, you might be able to get it out by surgery before it turns into an adult, but it won't be easy. There's a high chance you won't survive the operation. As far as I know, the girl was injected with the egg before you. Her time is ticking. You should prepare yourself for the worst case scenario. Ooh, we'd get to shoot her. That'd be fun.
Welcome.
Alright, what do you got for me, bud?
Some rare thing. What are you selling? Thank you.
Just some junk I don't need. Pretty sure I don't need these eyes anymore.
Thank you. What are you buying?
Ooh, here we go. Now we're talking upgrades. That one's really close to being maxed. I believe Chapter 5.1 is actually the first time you can get an upgrade, or a gun fully maxed with its upgrades, but what we're using is pretty close. That one's got 2 left, that one's got 2 left, that one's got 3 left, that one's got 2 left. So yeah, next chance we get to tune stuff up, it will probably be the, it'll probably be the time where we'll finally have everything ready. Alright. Hey guys, Kirby. He's the merchant. You actually don't want to kill him. He's pretty much the only person that stays throughout the entire game to actually help you. He's also very iconic for Resident Evil 4 because of his what are you buying and what are you selling. But you can kill him, and if you kill him at any point in the game, then he does not respawn, so you really don't want to kill him by accident. I've done that once, and I'll show off where it is. It's not in this chapter. It's somewhere in Chapter 5, towards the end of the game. Sir, it is not nice to point fingers. It's also not nice to shoot somebody in the kneecaps, but that's neither here nor there. I thought I saw some money over here. Oh, that works. Oh, hi. Dude, it's a party. Guys, don't worry, I brought everything we need. Be a great party. Oh great, it turned into one of those things. I don't hate these things or anything, it's just way easier to kill them with a flashbang than it is to fight them normally. You can fight them and it'll do a bunch of damage with guns, and there's enemies like that in Resident Evil 5 as well. But the idea of the flashbang is it kills infected parasites if they're exposed, so it just one-shots them if they get hit by that blast. So it's just way easier to kill them with a flash grenade. Speaking of flash grenades. I always forget this is here. This would be a great sniping point if you wanted to snipe the villagers from their little campfire over there. Alright, looks like we're ready to go. If you go over here, you'll realize that it's locked, and it'll say offer the sacrifice to the lion. So we're obviously going to have to find the right little trinket to put in there. If I recall correctly, this area is full of an enemy type that I'm really not a fan of dealing with. But let's see what we got. Yep, this is sure enough the place. Up ahead rests the offering to the lion. And there's a treasure in there. I know where that one is, thankfully. And then a giant winding pathway. The stars only show, like, the big treasures, by the way. The stuff like the Velvet Blues, those are just, like, small treasures. Their only purpose is to sell, but since they're not big treasures, they don't show up on the map. You do have to buy the maps that outline where all the treasures are, but they're pretty inexpensive, and obviously the payout is well worth it. How'd those miss? Away with you. Unfortunately, you can't kick those guys in the bear traps. I have no idea why, but you can't. Didn't want to waste the flash grenades right now. Flash grenade is something you always want to try to keep at least one on hand. I have two, but I still would like to keep both of them. It's more like you use those when you're in a group of enemies and there's at least one or two that are going to kind of be a pain to deal with. And it's specifically because they're in a group. Because it'll stun everything that's not a Plagas and just outright kill everything that is. There's the key to the mine. Oh, hey, Chainsaw Dude. What's up, man? The shotguns really are the way to deal with the chainsaw guys just because of the knockback on them. In Resident Evil 5, these guys do not suffer near the knockback that they do here. But in 4, yeah, you can use this pretty effectively on them. I'm not the biggest shotgun fan in the world. I've always been more of a machine gun, sniper pistol guy. Forgot you guys are behind me. Get out of here. Yeah, this would be a good example of using a flashbang right here. Even though they're not in a group, there's two of them, so... Actually, while I'm thinking about it, I got an opportunity here. Yeah, in terms of, like, your ammo, it would be better to have one enemy type that you don't like as opposed to several that you do. But I kind of like actually fighting the big groups of enemies, and there is a survival mode in this game. It's called Mercenaries, and it's in 4, 5, and 6 as well. And I used to play this game a lot with my ex, and it was always the main idea because he would always go play on like groups on Steam that actually wanted help, and he was really good at the story mode, but I was phenomenal at the mercenary mode. So the way the mercenaries works is you're in just like a confined area, like take this area for example, you wouldn't be able to enter or exit it at all, and then enemies would drop out of points and they would just keep coming until your timer ran out, or if you died you wouldn't win anything at all. And if you killed enemies like in a row, then you would get a combo bonus, and the combo bonus would disappear if you took too long to kill another enemy. And that's how you'd rack up points, was by getting the combo bonus and killing a bunch of enemies. And so you'd get anything ranked from, I believe C is the lowest rank you can get. So you can get, like, C, B, A, S, or SS rank, and he would usually get around, like, B or A. And then I would pretty much always get SS. I just was really good at mercenary mode for whatever reason by comparison to the main game. I was always much better at it. I probably will do like one stream of mercenaries mode. I'm not going to go for showing every character on every stage because it'll take too long. I want to shoot these. Oh, they activate now. Okay, because that trap was in the game earlier, and it was something where you could just shoot them out before you even walked in the room, which is what I did, so it's kind of weird that... I hate spiders. No. Bad spiders. Do not like spiders. They are not my friends, and they will never be my friends. Oh, hang on. I didn't realize I had a red herb. Freedom from the spiders! Oh, right, I forgot to go pick up the treasure that was back there. I'll go and get that if it'll let me. Or am I locked out of it? Nope, totally locked out of it. Dang it. Alright, fine. Well, let me retry from that checkpoint. It's not the end of the world if I have to do that again. No, I'm looking for the map. I knew where it was, too. I just completely forgot to get it. I don't know why it didn't cross my mind at all to go and get it. It just didn't. So we can avoid those traps. Because it looks like it's in the room, like, back where we started, right? But it's actually not. It's down here. Hi. Apparently the treasure wasn't that very valuable if they only sent one dude to guard it, but you know. Staff of Royalty. Better than House Centipedes. Yeah, you got that right. We don't get a lot of centipedes around here. Really, there's not too many bugs except for like flying stuff, so gnats, mosquitoes, etc. around here, because it's too dry. And yes, I did just say it's too dry for scorpions. That is factual. We used to get them around here a lot back when it rained more frequently here, but like we don't hardly, we get a good rain like once every 2 years here at most. It just doesn't happen. Okay, so let's try something different. Let's try killing the spiders. And then getting these. Yeah, we have plenty of time on that. Yeah, spiders are the only thing that I really just am not a fan of. Like, snakes don't bother me at all. I think snakes are adorable. Sharks don't bother me. And I'm still going to blame my fear of playing Twilight Princess too late at night for my fear of spiders. Let's get everything set up for the giant minecart ride of death. Never played Twilight Princess. Trust me, you're not missing much. I'm not that big a fan of it. I've liked it more playing it multiple times through, but I'm still not the biggest fan. I'll be the first to admit I'm not a big fan of Twilight Princess. Stick a pistol for now. I've always been more of a Majora's Mask person. That seems like something I don't want to deal with while I'm on a coaster. Away with you. Away with all of you, actually. You're not invited. I think you can also shoot these if you really wanted to. The wooden planks, and then you don't have to do the command prompt. That's a good game to start with the 3DS. I'm not a big fan of it on the 3DS, but I'm also used to the location of everything in the original game, so that could be entirely the bias talking there. That did a lot of damage. Holy cow. Yeah, but watch that little gray bar that's kind of, like, not quite at where the circle goes to, but pretty close. Now it increases. That is my max health. Where that gray line is that stops the green from continuing, that's max health. You can get it up all the way, obviously, but that's where mine is currently. This is why I wanted shotgun shells, in case you were curious. I don't think it matters which car you end this in. I don't know why that was funny, but it was. Yeah, no, there's no time to get away from that. Oh well. I guess I can go back to the pistol now. I've actually picked up a good amount of ammo from doing all that. Oh, there's another chainsaw, dude. I didn't even see you there. Yeah, I don't have time to deal with a second one of these. Away with you. Mostly because this does have an ending to it, and I want to kill this chainsaw dude before I run out of time. Okay, I'm curious, can you actually? Well, if I don't miss, maybe. There we go. Away! Yeah, we're getting up close to the end here, so I'm not gonna have a lot of time to... Back to pistol. You can do it, Leon. The action commands like that, by the way, because those quick time events are in... I don't know about earlier games. They're definitely more frequent in the later ones, though. They get harder and harder as you increase your difficulty setting. And on Professional, they are insanely tough. I played Professional with like all of my max guns because you can play this game on New Game Plus, so all your stuff transfers over with subsequent playthroughs. I had pretty much the strongest setup possible. In the entire playthrough, I died 24 times. 23 of those 24 times were due to a QuickTime event. And when I say a QuickTime event, I mean one singular QuickTime event that I failed 23 times. Because it was in button mashing and I couldn't do it fast enough. It's a boulder chase scene from Chapter 1-2 of all things. The only other time I died was to a boss, and it was completely understandable why I died. Because he did a move that I had not seen him do, because on normal mode he dies usually too fast for you to see his full move set. Alright, here, take this thingy. I'm gonna check something really quickly before I go down there. Now we got another merchant. I was gonna say, if there's not a merchant for another while, then I might go ahead and sell the treasures that I've got. But, you know, there's one pretty close. And I know... Oh, no, this is not. That was the end of Chapter 4.3. Well, we're going to go through all of Chapter 4, because I thought it was only went to 4.3. But if it goes to 4.4, we will do Chapter 4-4 as well. I could have sworn only Chapter 1 went to 1.4. Most times it only goes... It goes like 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, etc. And because in Resident Evil 5, it only does it once, where it goes to 2.2, and it doesn't go to 2.3. It goes to 3.1 after that. Speaking of sections with quick times, we're going to have one come up here relatively soon. I will say it will be nice to get out of the castle area and back to a different map that I like a lot more. Or not back to a different map, but to a different map. Chapters 1 and 2 are based on the village. Chapters 3 and 4 based on this castle, and then Chapter 5 you'll see when we get to Chapter 5. But I love the village in the last area way more than I like the castle. Normally I like castles, but a lot of the areas, especially in Chapter 3, they just all look the same. That's an ugly looking statue. That's locked, so there's no getting there. I know there's a way to get across here. Is it by doing this? No. Usually you can hit switches. Do I actually need to go forward? I don't remember having to do that. Oh, I guess you do. Huh. I thought the door at the end was locked, but I guess that's not true. Alright. Well, that's good to know. Can't go there. Oh, hey. Shouldn't have picked a mace for a weapon, dude. And I'm not saying that just because it's not ranged. Like, I've never been a big fan of the mace weapons. Anybody who's watched me play Terraria knows that. I will go ahead and mention this since most people watching this probably already know because it's 5 o'clock right now. We're not doing Terraria Hardcore, We're not doing Minecraft Hardcore this weekend, and we don't have plans to do Terraria Hardcore before you asked. Trust me, I've pushed for it, but we're sticking with Minecraft for now. Probably just because it's got more maneuverability and what the host can do. But yeah, he's off watching a graduation, so he would not be able to make it this week. It will be back at 6 next Sunday, however. But yeah, just so we're clear, we're not on any sort of time limit. I don't have to have this done by 6 o'clock. I wonder if these guys will fall if I shoot them. That brought me more joy than it probably should have. Okay, I don't know where that guy went, but I don't really care right now. You clearly fired that crossbow twice. That's not how crossbows work. Alright, that's one of the pieces put up. Yeah, unfortunately, there was no getting out of that just based on where I was, because I need to go here. Oh, hey. Glad you decided to join the party. Much as I appreciate the money, I would prefer the ammo just a hair more. There we go. That'll get us everything we need to get down to that bottom area. There's not a treasure till right there. And I'm pretty sure I know where that is. I already pulled that lever. Okay, so I need to get down to the bottom one. Which means I need to go here. I'll just clip through that wall. No big deal. Hey, it's one of these dudes. Usually these guys try to run away. Guys that are dressed in red often drop either a treasure or a small fortune, basically. Like a really high money amount. Sometimes they actually drop an item you need, but yeah, in this case, 5,000. Which means usually they just try to run outside of the boundary so you can't get their whatever they drop. Kind of surprised that guy actually stood there. Oh, hey. You definitely were not there a second ago. Nor were you three. Probably had to realize this by doing the melee attacks, but depending on where you hit enemies, you might set yourself up for doing physical attacks. And sometimes you'll get critical headshots like that and their heads will just blow off. You know, I could almost go with the rifle now. I've actually got a fair bit of rifle ammo. I don't think I'll need to for the rest, but for the boss fight, if I can't use the Magnum, the rifle would be the next best bet. Which is weird. Normally the rifle ammo, I'm almost always out of it. Alright, here we go. You can still die while opening that door, by the way. Just want to make that clear. I like how the button is on the crotch, by the way. That's a nice touch. Slight note about that QuickTime event, by the way, as I'm going through it. The part where it was showing it and where he did the jump where it broke the bridge down. If you do the last command where he jumps too quickly, he actually won't make the jump at all. So you actually do need to wait a second. So, believe it or not, you can actually be penalized for doing the QuickTime too quick. I know. It's dumb.
So nice you could join us, Mr. Scott Kennedy.
You again.
The sacred rite that's about to begin at this tower shall endow the girl with magnificent power. She will join us, become one of us.
This is no ritual. It's terrorism.
Isn't that a popular word these days? Not to worry. We've prepared a special ritual for you.
Smash Bros. 3 fight. Yeah, really. Mr. Porky Pokey, whatever you want to call him. You're not on a timer here, by the way, so no rush. I just love the fact he just throws it and it just hits him, goes right through his hand. There's a part earlier, too, where he drops you and he tries to drop you into a bed of spikes and you just grapple onto the wall safely. And he's got a sound system set up because he wants to hear, like, the sound of you being impaled. And so you fire the gun, and it, or he fires the gun, rather, and it, he fires at the sound speaker, and so it just echoes super loud right into his ear. It's really funny. They made, like, very interesting choices with how Leon works. Like, he's a very cool character, and a lot of his actions are really funny and cool like that, but a lot of his lines where he tries to sound cool just do not work at all. It makes for a very interesting combination. Yeah, we still got a ways to go before we can get that. I could deal with the barrels, but I'll just take the long way. If you ever decide to play this game, I cannot recommend doing that strategy enough, where if you've got one enemy, just, like, knock them down. and then just keep using the knife on them, because the knife will save you so much ammo. When you're fighting multiple enemies, obviously you want to be a lot more careful, but when it's just the one, yeah. Because they usually can't get back up enough, or they cannot get back up quickly enough to where they'll actually be able to survive. So they're gonna hop back down there. Oh gee, I'm glad I could do something about that. The good news is that was the dude dropping the barrels, so now I can just go back down this way because it'll be a lot faster. I haven't used a hand grenade in a while. Let's go for it. We'll have a little fun here. And of course, if they got a helmet on like that, you can't hit them in the head. Oh, hey, dude with the shield. Thankfully, the shields can be broken with shotgun blast pretty easily. This is what I came down here for, was this guy, though. Yeah, you get 2,500 from that one guy and 55 from the other. I'm still more than good on money, as you can tell, but better to have it, not need it. Sounds like he kind of does, yeah. He also kind of has the same haircut I do, it's just the wrong color. Or at least that I used to, not so much now. Mine's not as parted as his is, I guess. I'm not hanging by that dude with the dynamite. In fact, you know what? I've got a bunch of rifle ammo. Now's as good a time as any. There. Now I won't have to worry about him while going up here. There's gonna be a lot of dudes doing that, though. These will end up weighing down the elevator. You can't keep them on and use them for cover, so. This is probably the first area of the game, if you're playing along, if you really don't like changing your weapons, it's probably the first one that will really force you to. Because you'll have to snipe to get rid of the dudes that are firing at you. But there's also dudes that will just drop down from where you're standing and try to attack you physically. There he is. That might not work so well right here. So you know what? I'll just take a bit of damage. It's going to be a very small amount though, but I didn't realize I had no ammo on my shotgun. That works. Normally I try to keep these guys alive to, you know, get whatever they drop, but there's so many of them in this area, it's just, if they fall off, it's not the end of the world. let's use a bit of fire. Bye-bye. Oh, there was some good stuff they dropped there. And it looks like we're good. The way you described his character. Yeah, I don't know. Like, he goes back and forth. Basically, in this, if you want to play the second game, he's not cool at all. The way his story works from the very start of the game is in Resident Evil 2, he is, like, fresh out of the police academy. Like, he just graduated. And he just turned 21 as well when he graduated. And so he decides to celebrate. You know, maybe gets a little bit more to drink than he should have. It happens, you know. And so he oversleeps on his first day in the Force, which normally sounds like it would be a bad idea. However, the place he was going to go to was Raccoon City, and that place got overrun by a virus that turned everybody into zombies. Which means he didn't get turned into a zombie like he should have been with all the other police officers that were going. Problem is, because he didn't know about the about Raccoon City being quarantined, because he was running late, he just drove straight into Raccoon City and got involved with the events there. He obviously survived and saved the day and all that, but, you know, not the best way to go about, you know, your first day in the Force. And so he's anything but cool in that game. By this point, he's been trained with the Secret Service and a couple other places because he was a survivor of Raccoon City and was clearly capable of handling himself even as a rookie. So he's much more experienced in this game than he was in Resident Evil 2. And only had 30 years. Yeah, it's true. He only had 30 years till retirement. He's also not a helicopter pilot, so he'll actually survive. If there's one thing you need to know about Resident Evil, it's that it's notorious for helicopter pilots not surviving. In the history of this game, only 2 helicopter pilots have ever survived the game. And one of them was a very minor character who just, like, showed up at the last minute. You'd met him, like, a couple other times, but he really wasn't that important.
Welcome.
The other one was Barry from the first game, Barry Burton.
What are you selling? Is that
Alright, so here's our boss fight for Chapter 4. And this will mark the end of the castle area. And I think that's all I'm going to sell.
What are you buying?
If it will let me, you're only allowed to have a limited amount of healing items. So the first aid spray is not always available. However, since it's going to let me have it, I'm definitely going to buy it. And there's nothing else I can upgrade. So this will be our layout for the boss fight. Thankfully, that is a good chunk of Magnum ammo it gave me towards the end there. So we actually might be alright. Pretty sure that's maxed. Yes, it is. It's not going to be as big of a boss destroyer as it is with the final upgrade, but again, I don't think we get that till Chapter 5. Anyway, so let's do it. That looks like a Metro to their end boss.
Ah, you just missed her. The ritual is over. She left with my men to an island.
What?
I like how your arm is completely fine, by the way, or your hand, I should say.
I think it's time I paid my due respects towards your impressive and stubborn will. Mr. Kennedy, welcome.
Also, sorry for the audio on the game being super quiet, the actual voice audio. That's how it was programmed, and there's no English subtitles. It's only in French. I don't know why it's the case with the Steam version, but yep, you can't turn the English subtitles on. If you could, I would have. Gee, I wonder what the weak point is. Anybody that's played any Zelda can probably tell you that immediately. More often than not for Zelda bosses, the eye is the weak point. If there is a weak point, it's not just fire until they take enough damage.
Monsters. Guess after this, there'll be one less to worry about.
I want you to suffer just like Ashley.
Alright, so the way this boss fight works is, first and foremost, I would highly recommend going to pick everything up that's on the lower area. There are, unfortunately, spiders down here, but there's a lot of good stuff, including a first aid spray, so it would be worth your time to pick it all up. They kind of just give you a bit of everything, you know, different ammo types, obviously a flash grenade, handgun ammo, first aid spray. So they give you like a fighting chance here, and the reason the spiders are here are in case you use up all your ammo, you could kill the spiders and they'll drop ammo. Incendiary rifle. Now let's get back up here. I'm actually going to start with the pistol. Wow, that looks a lot more crowded than it did a second ago. Yeah, that's fine. Ready to get back to the center here. Now your first idea might be to say, okay, use your magnum ammo on... Yeah, nice try. Use your magnum ammo on the eye, because the eye is the weak point. Well, you're half right. The eye is the weak point. And it looks like it's slightly to the right of where you'd expect it to be. That's kind of odd. Maybe I just need to move to the right a little bit. Once you do enough damage to the eye, then his actual weak point will open. Now you can just kick his ass. And that's it. Boss fight over. The magnums are called boss killers for a reason, guys. And that would be why you upgrade your magnums. So, now that that's done. Yes, I realize that was a complete joke of a boss fight. I am fully aware. If done correctly, that boss fight will end probably faster than any other boss fight in the game. And even then, I wasn't doing that great with my shots. I missed quite a bit with the pistol. I'm not going to reload that because I'm willing to bet there will probably be an upgrade for the Magnum with capacity, and so I can just get that. So I'll pick up our 50,000 gold. Look around and see if those spiders are still alive, because... Oh, there's a barrel down there. I was going to say, if the spiders are still alive, I can kill them for stuff. Oh, well, I'm not going to use that TMP ammo. There's only one machine gun in this game, and it fires like absolute garbage. The recoil is awful. Even if you buy the stock to help with the recoil, it's still awful. I'm not a fan of it at all. We'll see it when I play Mercenaries mode, though, because one of the characters uses it. Actually, I think two of the characters use it. Just a little excess area. I don't think there's anything else. Nope, doesn't look like it. Ow! What? Oh, there was a snake in that barrel. Yeah, that can happen sometimes. I didn't remember there being one over here, though. But if you kill the snakes, they usually drop an egg of some sort. Either a normal one, which heals for a small bit, which will pretty much heal whatever damage you took from the snake. A brown one, which will heal for a little bit more, or a golden one, which is a full heal. They're very good early game because you get to a farm in 1-1, and so you can, of course, just, you know, hang around there and get a ton of eggs. There's no time bonus in this game like there is Resident Evil 5 for clearing the chapters. So as a result, you can take as much time as you want. You could literally just fill up your entire inventory with eggs if you wanted to, and you'd be good for healing for at least a little while. Beautiful. Look at all that inventory after having not that much a second ago. I'm going to leave that over there because I'm not Gonna plan on keeping it.
Got some rare. What are you buying?
You have anything new? Probably not, since it didn't say anything new. Nope.
What are you selling? Thank you. What are you
Alright, let's see it. Blacktail, nice. And that would be everything we need to upgrade it. Sweet. So, increase the firepower. The only problem with getting the bonus upgrade is it's very expensive, but at the same time, increases the firepower beyond the weapon's threshold. 3.2 to 4.5, which doesn't sound like a lot, but with how fast it fires, it's actually quite a bit. Right gun. Increase the firepower beyond the weapon's threshold. Again, is quite a bit. But that's the only one I can upgrade right now, and so I'm going to do it. 8.0 to 10.0. And I believe it also gets piercing through shields now. So yeah, that used up pretty much all the money we had, but all I need to do now is upgrade the rifle all the way and upgrade the Magnum, the Broken Butterfly, all the way. And we'll have plenty of time to pick up collectibles in the 5th area. So for now, that ends Chapter 4.
Need a ride, handsome?
Okay. I love his voice right there. It sounds so awkward. Just like, oh, okay. Like, I can't tell if you're out of breath trying to hide an erection or both. It's so weird sounding. Regardless, that'll do it for Chapter 4. Like I said, next time we'll be going to Chapter 5, the island. I don't know if there's an actual name for it. It might be facility. It's a facility on an island, so island it will be. I like that area a lot more than the castle, though, and that will be where we finish off the game. See, now we're at a bit of a standstill here, because I feel like we didn't stream for that long. I started at 4. It's about 5:30. So part of me kind of wants to keep going, and part of me doesn't. Ugh, puberty. Yeah, puberty at, like, I think he's like 24, 25. No, he's older than that in this game. Pretty sure he is. I'm actually going to check. How old is Leon in Resident Evil 4? I would guess like mid-20s, probably. So I'm legit curious, how old is he in Resident Evil 4? Let's find out. Assuming that the Wikipedia bio actually does show that. See, he was born in 1977. Wow. I would have thought younger than that, but maybe not. And the Los Illuminados was in 2004, so that would put him at 20... No, that put him at 30. No, I had it right. That put him at 27 in this game. So let's say he can't be 37. There's no way. He's not that old. So yeah, he's 27 in this game. That sounds more accurate. I was going to say mid to late 20s. How long is the next chapter? I mean, next chapter would be the end of the game. I mean, not 5-1 specifically, but chapter 5 in its entirety would be the end of the game. The problem is I don't remember specifically how far chapter 5 goes. So I think what we'll do is we'll end it here, but I'm going to play another game. So I'm going to look through my library real quick, and then you guys can let me know in chat what you would prefer me to play. Just kind of something to mess around to play on. Or... Oh, that's really tempting. Well, we'll go and show. You see if there's a cutscene here. Probably is one. While I'm thinking about what I'm doing here.
Got some business to take care of. See you later.
Dude, don't say that. You were staring right at her ass when you were looking at her a second ago.
I hate to break it out to you, but Salazar is dead.
Yes, it seems that way.
Sadler, why don't you give up and let Ashley go home?
Perhaps you are disillusioned with overconfidence, just because you killed my small-time subordinate.
Sadler, you're small time.
No. Arrive in my cage of torment, my friend.
You know what? I think we're going to go ahead. I'm going to do something rebellious. We're going to go ahead and finish the game right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to end the stream because these get uploaded to an archive channel, and you can, assuming that will actually work this time. In fact, I'll even try it myself. There we go. I have these put on an archive channel, and so if you want to watch them individually, you can go to that YouTube channel, and it's got like all the Mario Party stuff uploaded, the Donkey Kong Country Blinds uploaded. It doesn't have some of my earlier stuff like Rhythm Heaven and Earthbound, and so at some point I'll probably redo those, just so, because for Twitch streaming, they only last for like a month, or until you do a certain amount of streams, and then they stop. But by doing that, I can just upload this file that the stream will make straight to there. And so I'd like to keep them semi-organized instead of like crawling into Chapter 5. So I will end the stream, and that will make a recording that I can upload the rest of Chapter 4. And so I'll end it and then immediately start another one, and then that will be Chapter 5. So I will go offline for like all of about 6 seconds to do that. Just so it'll make it easier for me. I could like actually go back in and edit it and all that junk, but it's just a lot faster to do it this way. So, with that being said, I will see you guys in about 6 seconds for Resident Evil 5, or Resident Evil 4, Chapter 5. If it doesn't automatically start up the stream again in about 10 seconds from you hearing this, then just refresh the page.